Papakura, approximately 32 kilometres south of the Auckland CBD. Once market gardens and farmland surrounding a sleepy rural town, these days it's overtaken by Auckland urban sprawl. Papakura's population is estimated to be growing at more than 10 times the rate of New Zealand as a whole. The ethnic mix is still predominantly European, but there is a rich diversity to be found here. Dutch, Maori, Tongan, Samoan, Indian, and like my family, Croatian. So let me introduce you to some of the other people from the far-flung reaches of the globe that call my oldhood home. We'll meet a young Samoan woman who's found inspiration for her latest artwork in her Papakura home.
The memories and the experiences that we've had living here, both good and bad, you know, it's a part of what makes us who we are.
We'll join the Taipu Psalm celebrations at a local temple.
This is that very enjoyable festival. People were happy and they are going around the temple. They just forgot all their sadness.
We hit the streets with an Indian lawyer who's made it his mission to help local business people living in fear of crime.
Law and order is quite a challenging task, and police can't do anything without the cooperation and involvement of communities. Do you think, Prem, there is a little matter of concern during holidays for these kids?
They certainly get everywhere, don't they?
And we'll see Dutch history through the lens of a local man's camera.
Anything and everything was taken with this camera. Wherever I went, I had it with me. So it became a friend, and a very good one at that, because without the camera, I wouldn't have those memories.
I'm Milan Boric, and this is my neighbourhood. This is the farm I grew up on, about 3 k's from Papakura's main drag. Although most of the area has given way to, like, new housing developments, this still looks just the way I remember it. Scene of 100 boyhood adventures. Fishing, hunting, dragging nets for flounder, football, classic Kiwi upbringing, but with a Croatian twist. Both my parents are full-blooded Croatians. My father's father moved here in the 20s, and my mother moved here in the 60s. In search of new horizons and a safe place to raise their kids. Papakura was a great place to grow up in, although in recent years it's got a bad rep for crime. A local lawyer who calls this area home now is committed to finding ways to keep the business community safe.
I am Arunjeev Singh. I was born in Punjab, India. I moved to New Zealand in 2005. My brother was here, so I thought of moving it here and have a good living. Just after a few days of marriage, I think.
Yeah, we were newlyweds. This is a quite nice memory.
Yeah.
We will always cherish this moment.
Yeah. I am a barrister by profession. I was a lawyer in India as well. But in New Zealand, we have to qualify a few exams. So I qualified here in University of Auckland. In 2009, I started here as a barrister. I think that's an achievement which one feels proud of. I do a lot of community work. I am providing free legal advice to Citizen Advice Bureau. I go there on alternative weekends, and people come there and have their grievances heard, and then I advise them. From 2009 onwards, Papakura was witnessing a lot of local crime. I volunteered to join Papakura Community Crime Watch Patrol. I do patrol mostly with senior member Graham. Do you think, Graham, there is a little matter of concern during holidays for these kids?
They certainly get everywhere, don't they?
We go different streets, town centers, and look for any wrong-minded people.
We'll turn back and just go up the back of the main street and through those back alleys.
We are not acting as police officers. We act as ears and eyes for the local police, because police can't make presence everywhere.
Sure, there's just that door back there is
Locked or not.
closed.
If somebody is in a vulnerable situation, we try to go and comfort her or him, and then we see if there is some fight going on. We call the police, and the police take action on the spot. Shopkeepers also felt very safe when we were on roads. We go and talk to them if there is any concern with them. What happened then?
This car was rammed into the doors.
So it rammed into the whole thing.
Whole thing.
Oh. Most of the problems at night, they face shoplifting, they face some kind of intimidating behavior by the customers. So you feel safe and comfortable?
Yeah, not too bad at the moment.
It seems quieter.
quiet,
I think
yes,
it's
quiet.
been good that people are not hanging around the streets.
It's really making a difference, which I have seen for last 2 years. In Papakura area, the crime has been very less now. I feel obliged by this country, the culture and the communities of this country, which have given me so much. So I feel indebted, and I feel it's my duty that I should give something back. By doing this kind of social work, volunteer work, and providing free advice, it's my humble way of returning what I have been given by this community and the culture. I really enjoy from my heart when I do some good for the others.
My mum's mother, Baba Kadisa, moved to New Zealand from Croatia to live with us after my brother was born. She was a big influence on us boys growing up. Although she could speak no English, we could all speak Hrvatski. Some of the stories she used to tell us about World War II were intense. And one I'll never forget was about her niece. Her niece secretly supported the resistance under German occupation, but fell in love with a Nazi commandant. The Nazis discovered that she was spying, and at the dinner table, she was shot by the man she loved. And then, my poor Baba was made to clean up the mess. She was so young at the time, but it made her the extraordinary woman I will always remember. Erwin Durard also remembers the war, although most of his treasure memories were captured with a camera that he has owned since he was just 15.
I'm Erwin de Raad, and I was born in The Hague in the Netherlands. Yeah, this is my father.
Only in Holland would you be out in the paddock in a suit.
In 1944, which was called the Hunger Winter, there was no food, and I'm not sure how my father managed to actually get anything to eat. But he did manage to get bulbs, flower bulbs, and I got through the war accordingly.
Excuse me, who's this gentleman? What's he got on? He has...
Well, he took after his dad, didn't he, wearing a tie? I grew up with my father. He worked hard, he was very seldom home. So I was left to my own devices, really. Of course, once I got a bit of independence, I was able to chart my own course. And of course, my camera probably became my best friend. This is an Agfa box camera. Very simple to operate. It's really point and shoot. It is merely click. The fact that it is special to me really relates to my earliest experiences. Here we have London City Hall, Trafalgar Square. I took lots of photos with it. It accompanied me everywhere. London Tower Bridge, Thames. I have, of course, ended up with, I wouldn't say dozens of photo albums, but a fair few. And looking through them occasionally, it sort of brings back very happy memories. Now here we start with New Zealand. I came to New Zealand in 1964 when I was 24 years old. I happened to have an old flame in New Zealand, and I started corresponding with her and asking pertinent questions as to is there enough work. I got positive responses, and that caused me to decide to go to New Zealand. This is the ticket from Amsterdam to Sydney with KLM. Then here we have the ticket Sydney to Auckland. Furthermore, the Dutch government paid my fare. And of course, that was an opportunity too good to miss. You can see that even in those days, we were treated to a glass of Corbyn's Gold Medal Reserve, Sauterne. Bit of a culture shock where the pubs closed at 6, and that was it. Then I suppose after a while everything sort of falls into place and you get used to a different environment. Yes, the mud pools in Rotorua, which of course I'd never seen. I stayed until the early 90s out west. Then, unfortunately, my first wife died. And to cut a long story short, I married one of her best friends. Now, she had a job in Papakura, so I decided to sell up and move to Papakura myself. Papakura is a nice little place. It used to have the slogan, the best of town and country. And I think that is quite right. I like it. Home is here, except that my second home is Holland. I feel like a Dutch Kiwi. I will never be a Kiwi, but I will never be a Dutchman anymore either. Not so long ago, when I was tidying up, I decided that that camera had done its job, and I am associated with the Papakura Museum. I happen to be treasurer there, and I thought, well, the best place for this camera is for that to go to the museum.
Hello, Erwin.
Hi, Kay.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good to see you.
And I'm glad to now hand it to you because it's in good hands here.
Thank you. That's very important. It's great. We're really pleased to have the camera here. It's part of history, and we know Erwin, and you know he's a dear member of the society. It's just special, and his story will be special to keep. You know, so he'll live on.
It's found a good home. It'll probably live there forever, for as long as the Papakura Museum exists. And I'm very happy that it's there. Life is full of memories, and yeah, if it wasn't for those photos, I guess a lot of memories would really be covered by dust.
I'm a musician, and I believe that my bloodline has a huge influence on my music. I grew up with the sounds of traditional music all around me. In fact, some of my earliest memories are here performing at what used to be the Yugoslav Club. Didi, my daughter, now sings and dances here. She gets taught singing by my mother, as my mother taught me. It's really important to me that we have a shared cultural heritage. And music is a really big part of that for me. This is a tablaca. It's a type of mandolin-y instrument, but more percussive. And I've used it on every single record I've ever made. I've always thought there's a little bit of gypsy musician in me. Yeah, the music has a sense of longing, which I love. Local woman Louisa Foa finds the Samoan side of her upbringing has given her an insight to make an artwork about what really constitutes a home.
What's special about this house is definitely the people that live inside of it, the memories and the experiences that we've had living here. And it's what makes this house our home. My name's Louisa Afoa and I'm from Papakura. My dad, he was from Samoa. My mum was born in New Zealand. I've got 4 brothers and 2 sisters. And 11 nieces and nephews. My mum moved into this house when she was pregnant with me, and so I've lived here all my life, so that's 23 years. In my art practice, I'm really into people and people's stories and the retelling of stories. I work mostly in moving image and sound and installation. My most recent work on display is at the Papakura Art Gallery. The work is a moving image of my backyard. There's a sound element as well, and it's my mum retelling the story of a Housing New Zealand inspection.
I've always had no problem living in a housing corp house, but one time I felt very uncomfortable and worried about living here. I had some new fences put in, and this gentleman came and informed me he's from Housing Corp, coming to inspect the work that was done on the fences. Suddenly, he started taking photos of my section, and then he started questioning me about an old car. Felt quite threatened, because I was concerned that he might ask me to remove the car, and because it's my son's car, and my son had always planned to do that car up for his son, but he's battling cancer, so I can't do this. Sorry. It's just that who the car is for. I was concerned that they would ask me to move it.
At the time, she couldn't say anything because she doesn't have the power to say anything, because if she does, then, you know, there's always that ultimate fear of losing your home.
I had a meeting, a house inspection. I had all my kids here because I was so scared that guy would come back and make me... But it was a different person, and they were very, very nice and very lovely. Nothing happened. They didn't send me a letter or do anything, but at the time, it was very emotional.
I wanted to be able to retell the story and, in a way, give my mum a voice.
Living in a housing corp house has been protection. It has been knowing that I can rent a house, that my children, my family will always have a roof over our heads. And artwork came out of it that shows who we are, I suppose, with her father's garden. On the Friday prior to my husband passing away, he planted our vegetables for our Christmas.
He was a really, resourceful person. And so that's why around our house we have all these spades and all these things that are evidence of, you know, where he worked. Although it might look, I guess, in a way, messy to some, every object has its own story about why it's there, and I wanted to make a work that, I guess, in a way, breaks stereotypes about how people see people that live in Housing New Zealand homes. Everyone has this idea of what success looks like, and I think it's really important to show success through, I guess, our point of view, because I think for us, for my parents especially, success is not living in a grand house, it's getting their children through university, providing for their families so that their kids can go on and do exactly what they want to do. I also work part-time at the art gallery.
I love how that blows out. It's just so great.
I don't expect people to take anything from the work if they don't want to. Like for me, my work, it's almost like a gift because they're such personal experiences. Sorry.
I believe that Louisa Afua has a bright future as an artist. She's an artist to watch.
I think all my inspiration comes from my neighbourhood and my family and who we are, because it's what I'm interested in.
I grew up on a steady diet of kuppas, which is a type of cabbagey potato stew. It's washed for an age and then cooked over an oven, mixed with olive oil, salt, and as I would mix garlic with it, but my mum tends to disagree with this because that's not what Dalmatians do. Yeah. Well. And, I mean, I still cook it because it's Didi's favourite. My baba Katitsa was the best at cooking this because she had the patience for it. It's a type of food that fills the stomach and nourishes the soul. At the Sri Ganesh temple in Papakura, food doesn't just provide a way for the community to celebrate together. It's a part of the act of worship as well.
My name is Chandru Kurkal. I'm actually from Kerala, the southern part of India. I'm a Hindu priest and also a marriage celebrant. Here, actually, my duty is to look after the temple. Papakura, I'm sure that there are more than 3,000 to 4,000 Hindus. One good thing is about our temple, every single day, all Hindus from all the part of the world come to our temple. Hinduism basically is a way of life, and we got a lot of rituals. For our temple today, we are celebrating the Thaipusam, a very big festival in our culture. For that, I am preparing some food for God. This is called sweet rice, or you can say sweet pongal, and we offer to him, then it will be eaten by all the devotees. The meaning of pongal means coming up. So it's also, you see, human being like growing. This is a traditional sweet and very simple sweet. It made normally in front of the house, actually back home, and just they use firewood. So very simple and very easy to cook. You cook together rice and some moong dal. Let it cook nicely. Then add some milk into it. Then you can add the sugar, the jaggery. It's a very sweet taste, very yummy. When my childhood time, we used to eat only this as a breakfast. Everybody likes sweets, so when you eat sweets, you know, you'll be happy. Then you want that happiness in your life. Only the priest will cook in this kitchen. When we cook here food, we wanted to be pure ourselves. So we maintain the dress, wear the clean dress, and we have it traditionally, we'll only enter after having the shower. So for the main topping for this, normally we put a lot of ghee and also cashew nut in it. So just pop some rice in it. So you can see when the rice have to be pop up like that. You just put this on top of the sweet rice. So now it's ready. Drasya sonam surasendyanadam guham sadagam saranam prabhadye. Om Sam Som Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. Akshobhyaya Namaha. Before we offering the pongal, we purify the place. And purify the deity. We use incense sticks and some, because the fire, the main purifier for us. Krishna Navadayana Alayasya Dharma Paripalaka Sabinar Navadayanam Tesham Sakudumbhanam Subramanyasva. We make the sweet rice and we put it in different special pots which we have for offer to God. That's only we offer that. People were happy and they just forgot all their sadness, their mind and body and their soul, just thinking of only God. We celebrate here by the devotees, they carry the kavadis. It hold whatever people they like to offer to God. You put both sides, it get balanced. So the life has to balance yourself. They pray, okay, make my kid or a doctor or make me sick less. Like this, they pray. So when they come out, I personally feel they are getting their peace. That's what I really believe. People getting the peace, that's why they keep on coming here. Very important to celebrate these ceremonies. At least you'll feel on the festival days like you're not missing your own country. We can't forget India, of course, because where we come from, we shouldn't forget that. But I think I love New Zealand.
One of my favourite places growing up was the estuary. I remember catching flounder and eels and a big tree swing that used to go all the way out into the channel. My Didi and I have also been back to Croatia many times. It's a magical place, full of history before history, if you know what I mean. My brother Leon lives here with his 2 daughters, who are Didi's only first cousins. And in Croatian culture, that still means something very special. We have a big family there, full of stories, laughter, love, and lots of music. I think, wherever you live, the bonds of family are the strongest ties that bind.